All right, mate.
Yeah. Yes, folks, welcome back to the Man United Agenda. As you can tell, we've got Yabba and Cookie in the background who are very excited about this game. I hope you're just as excited as them, but welcome. Yes. Oh, the excitement's calmed down on Monday. Are they not just watching? They're watching, aren't they? Listening to what we're going to talk about right now.
I think when you said action, that was the key word. Yeah, they're film stars.
Yeah, they are. They're very famous, Yabba and Cookie, and rightly so as well, because they're absolute crackers. And I mean, when I say crackers, I don't mean, you know what I mean? I mean corkers. They're lovely. Right, let's get that straight. So yeah, welcome Monday. How's your day been, bro?
Yeah, good. Just come back from work. Been a long day, but I'm really looking forward to the Europa League because we've been a bit of a drought at the moment with football, isn't it? So this game is going to have more vision from Man United Agenda from everyone. We're really looking forward to this. How about you, brother? How are you? How was your day? And are you looking forward to the game?
Yeah, very much so, because as we know, after this, it's going to go very dry on the football front. I mean, there are some games at the weekend, but unfortunately not for us. And so I think our next game after this is at Manchester City in the derby.
October the 2nd, I think it is. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I understand why, and I'm not going to get into the politics of it, but I understand why. But yeah, it's going to be twiddly thumb times, and looking for whatever content of football you can find, really, just to feed myself.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
So do you think this break will do us good on the training field, or do you think it's going to sort of dry us? We've come from a defeat, aren't we, against Real Sociedad last week? Or do you think it's going to sort of kill that momentum? How do you think it's going to pan out for us having almost 3-4 weeks?
To be honest, I think because of all right, we had the bad result against Sociedad, but I think because of the changes that were made and everything else, I don't think that's going to affect the squad too much. I think the league form is in good shape. So I think from that point of view, if we get a good result tomorrow in this match, we can also add to the league form and then take that into training over these next couple of weeks heading into that Manchester City game. And and I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of excitement built up by Erik ten Hag and by the coaching staff, because let's have it right, Manchester City does a great team. You've got a lot of great players, specifically Haaland. So I'm hoping that your likes of your Rafael Varane, Martinez, maybe even Harry Maguire, if Harry Maguire starts, we don't know, are going to get me really excited about wanting to stop this guy, because we know what he's like. I know this is not a Man City preview, folks, but just while we're talking about it, we know what he's like. Haaland is just such a hard player to deal with because of his movement. It's outrageous. But let's get into the guts of what we're here for, folks, which is the preview to tomorrow night's game. It's Sheriff Tiraspol. I think it's Tiraspol. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm not butchering it.
I'm just saying Sheriff.
Just say Sheriff. Yeah, just say Deputy or Sheriff, whatever you want to say. We'll get the gist of it. So I think let's just open up proceedings on Monday with a question of who are Sheriff, because a lot of people don't really know who Sheriff are. They've sort of come out of the blue over the last couple of seasons. Do you know much about them, or are you like us, like everybody else?
just a little bit. I'll just put out what I know, just for more detail. So Sheriff, a Moldovan club. So Moldova is a former Russian state, obviously. Biggest club to come out of Moldova in the last 20, 30 years. They've only been around since 1997. But imagine, since 1997, they've won 20 league titles. So that's a lot.
Wow.
That's a lot. And that's what, in 23, 24 years, maybe, since 25 years, they've won 20 league titles. So they're on a run. They're running things in that league, smashing it. And obviously they qualify for the Champions League. But then by qualifying for Champions League, they have to go through playoffs. Even though they win their league, they don't go automatically into the group stages. And last year, they had their most successful season in the Champions League. They got to group stages and they beat Real Madrid, which is a massive result for them. And they love, big occasion. The fans are up for it. As we saw at the press conference today, the fans are asking, the journalists are asking our manager about Ronaldo. They're really interested to see Ronaldo play. on their ground. Their ground's really small. It's sort of like a Division 1 side or 12,000 capacity. And their nickname is the Bees. They play like because of their colours. They play in yellow and black. So I think they've with Moldova. You're not going to see many Moldovan players in their squad. They've got a lot of African players that you can pick up cheap, and it's a good way for them to come. As you see in Russian league as well, you can get Brazilians, you get and African players, West African players who can make the name themselves and move on to bigger clubs. And I think it's a shop window for a lot of these players to come there. It's a good move for them to come in, get first team football, get Champions League football, a bit like Cypriot sides who can get into the Champions League. That's a showcase for players if you want to get make it. Go and play for one of these sides, and you get noticed quickly, I imagine. So Sheriff, not 20, they've been around since '97, doing really well. Obviously, this is a massive, massive game for them. They're all of their 12,000 fans. I'm not, that's massive for them. They're the biggest, obviously the biggest club in Moldova, but all of them are going to be on it, and they're going to be really excited to see the big stars of Man United turning up. What you know? Anything to add? Do you know anything about them?
No, just exactly what you've pointed out there. I wanted to be fair, but I think like you say, it's going to be all the fans. I don't know how many Man United fans will actually make that journey over to Moldova to go and support us. You might get a few who'll go over, and I'm sure they'll be most welcome because, like you say, it is a massive game for them, just as the Real Madrid game was as well. And hopefully, we're not going to be on the receiving end of any shocks. We would hope not. So I guess now we know a little bit about them. Let's have a little look and talk about how do they play. What's especially going into this. I'm not talking about the league, but going into this Champions League game. I mean, how are they going to set up? What can we expect from this Sheriff side? I mean, before we do that, I just want to have a quick look at their league form, just to give us an idea of where they are this season. So, as you can see there, they played 7. Yeah, they've won 5, drawn 2. They've got 17 points, and the nearest ones to them is that Misami? I think called Misami, and FC. I can't even spell it. I don't know what to say. But
Petrol Club.
Is it?
Is it Petrol Club?
Oh no, the other one, the fourth.
I'm lost here. And you know what? Talk what really made me laugh is you're going to have a mission tomorrow doing the commentary. You're doing a live watch, aren't you? And naming these players. Good luck.
Oh, I know. Do you know what? It's hard enough because it's hard enough trying to try and remember or flick from what I'm seeing to the other one where I can see their numbers and names, because obviously you can't remember them all. It's impossible unless it's a known team in the Premier League, you know most of the players anyway. But for a team like this, obviously you're going to be like, and it's like, no, just say, you know what I mean? It's number 8. But I mean, looking at their league form, obviously it looks like they're going to be carrying in some good form into this game, and also not just that, the form from the Europa League. I think. Well, let me just remind myself what it was.
They won 3-0 last time out.
Yeah,
away.
They've kept a clean sheet in the last 3 matches of the Europa League, and in the last game they beat Ammonia 3-0. But so they're keeping clean sheets, which is pretty impressive. I mean, because we all know, there's some good teams in the Europa League. Yeah,
for me, you get a lot of confidence winning games. Winning does breed confidence, I believe. But it's a bit like Celtic and Rangers. I think when you're dominating a league, in a small league, and the competition's not that good, a little bit like Paris, maybe people might put this claim on Paris Saint-Germain. When you go out and play the bigger teams in big competitions, all of a sudden, suddenly you have to up your game. And it's difficult when you're playing these sort of so-called farmers league. This is a genuine farmers league. I know people say the French league is fun, but this is horse and cart kind of league, as you can see.
Did they play? I think they play in a polytunnel, don't they?
Oh God! They play away in the manger. I think it does. It's detriment to the team if you're playing in a small league, beating these teams up, and then suddenly you come up against higher opposition. And it's hard to match that, You see it with Asian teams. They come to the World Cup and they can't do too well. Paris Saint-Germain dominating, and they come into the Champions League and suddenly they have to raise the level, and it's hard for them to step up. But over one game, I mean, they're going to be up for it against Man United for sure. And so I'm sure a lot of these players, because they know that it's going to be all eyes on them, they'll be trying to sort of show something. And I'm sure we know a few players. We've been looking at a few of their players to see who's the danger men and that kind of thing. So it's their time to step up and prove, this is a showcase thing. Because who sees the Moldovan league? Who tunes in? I've got like a Fire Stick, and I'm sure I haven't got that. And they cover everything, but I doubt they've got Moldovan league football.
Yeah, I mean, it is a relatively unknown league, and I mean, we're making a bit of fun, but you know what? Actually, in reality, if we're not, if we're not on it, they are going to be a problem. There's no two ways about that, because as we're talking about here, how do they play? I mean, from what I can see and what I've looked at, it looks a bit like a 4-3-3/4-5-1 sort of setup. And
I think in possession there will be a 4-3-3. When they haven't got the ball, they're going to sit back to a 4-5-1. That's what I've seen anyway in the Champions League last year, and especially this season. In the last game, in the first group's game again, when it's won 3-0, I mean, they were reliant on long balls. A couple of goals was the goalkeeper booting it out, and it's just like, it's just really embarrassing for their opponents, who we're going to get to play a double header against very soon. Just one long ball wasn't cleared from the goalkeeper, and the big African guy ran through unopposed and just slotted it away. And so to beat all of that, they're just playing long balls, and just dominating that way. I haven't seen them play football so much. They sort of rely on their fast guys. They got Nigerians up front, quick and strong. And but I haven't seen any sort of technical football. It's hard to know how they play, but I imagine they're very organised. And when they haven't got the ball, especially against Man United, they're going to sit back and say, invite us onto them, and then maybe try to hit us on the break with the pace that they have up front. So that'll be interesting to see.
That's exactly what they're going to do, Omundi. They're going to play us on the counter attack. They are a well organised and well drilled team. They will keep it nice and tight and compact, but they also will try and use the width and maybe outnumber us, on the wide, which that could be a problem. And we know, for us to break teams down, especially when they're playing so tight, there's not going to be a lot of space to move the ball around. So we're going to have to be really, really on it to try and make that space. In fact, so do you know what I always just say about talking about playing in front of a team? When I mean playing in front of them, I mean we'll always keep the ball in front of them, and maybe not for us to go too far into their half where they are ready for us in their ranks of four, ready to sort of just go, no, you can't get through us, we're so tight and there's no space. If we kind of play a little bit in front of them like that and try and draw them out and have some maybe quick runs in, or cheeky little balls over, for runners, etc. I think that's probably a possible way into on their goal. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think breaking down a low block is really difficult. Sometimes it's been difficult for us over the last few years. It's been really frustrating. So I think under this manager now, and where we're at right now, he's going to work on what strategies to break teams down who are sitting back and thing. And I think it'll be a great opportunity to dominate the game, dominate possession. We saw in the first 15, 20 minutes against Arsenal that we can play in opposition half. We can play good football. We've got good rotations of players who can move the ball around, who can change position and create space for others and to score. So I'm quite intrigued to see how we play against this team, because a bit like Young Boys last season. Young Boys were on it, small stadium. They were compact. They worked their hearts out. It was their cup final, and they were compact. We couldn't break them down. I found it really, watching the game was frustrating. But I think it's going to be a big contrast to this to tomorrow. I think we'll be able to, with Eriksen in there, and I'm saying Eriksen. I'm not picking the team, but I hope Eriksen. But these sort of players with the intelligence to sort of be able to pick people out. And that's what you need against this sort of team here, that sort of quality. Because when you come head-to-head with quality, I think we'll have more quality than them. I think we'll have more possession, hopefully, and use it better. I like the idea of Sancho and Anthony, for example. I see them as sort of wide playmakers. They can make things happen. They can draw players into them and suck them in and then pop it off or beat a man and create space like that. So I'm really interested to have a look tomorrow to see how we do set up and how we do, if we have got possession, how we do break them down. It's going to be a good watch, and I'll be tuning into your watch along for you to get excited about it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, nice. Well, I'm looking forward to it as well, and I 100% agree what you're saying there. And as we are talking about them being, this compact unit, let's have a look, and I'm going to ask the question: who is their best player? So we do have a player in mind, Omundi. I think we're both on the same page on this one. But before we get to that player, before we get to this player, let us just have a quick go through the comments. Let's have a little go through the comments, and we can welcome everybody who's joined us.
Obviously, guys, thanks everyone for tuning in. We're back. Man United Agenda. Yeah, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Shah is saying we need to give Sharif SP 3-0. That's 3 points required. HD Gamer saying, hello, guys, I'm back. It was my birthday yesterday. So happy birthday, HD Gamer. How you doing? Also, Potter might have something for Chelsea. Vincent saying hi. How you doing, Vincent? Just want to say hi to Stuart Marshall as well. I know Stuart Marshall goes to a lot of games, but I doubt you go to Moldova. Rebels in the house as well. How you doing, Reb? He said your picture's gone again. Vincent saying, unfortunately, the sheriffs are coming for us. They've seen our wanted pro, still dead or alive. 229 million. That's the price in our heads. Remember Blazing Saddles when he said, the sheriff is near. The sheriff is near. Yes. We're not going to go with that, but you know what I mean. Anyone who knows that film. HG Game is saying, take 37, 39 and 70. Take away 17, you get your age. So happy birthday anyway. It doesn't matter how old you are. HG Gamer, Mr. B's in the house. He's saying good evening to everybody. Here we go with the sheriff jokes. I shot sheriff. I did not shoot the deputy. Stumpy's in the house saying sheriff are owned by millionaires. That's why they're dominating. There's a guy, an army guy who took them over originally, but yeah, they have got a lot of investment. I want to say hi to Bill Badger. I want to say hi to Bath Time as well.
Big old Bill.
Number 6 car makers, he says. Bath Time's correcting me here. He said Rangers got to the final last year, because I was saying about Scottish teams playing low-level competition and then having to transfer that into playing high-level competition, which they've done really well. So fair play to Rangers last year. And this year they've reached Champions League group stages. Me and Mike, how you doing? We got the Champions League style strength. Sheriff are going down, he says. Bath Time saying here, to be honest, I'm looking forward to seeing how good our good possession and positional play will be, as we know how good our block is. So yeah, there you go. If you watch not the watch along, the eye test, you'll know what we're talking about. Gibraltar is not in the squad, says Box, which is unfortunate. I did see De Gea on the press conference today, so I thought, oh my God, he must be playing if he's on the press conference. Stuart again is saying Ronaldo's captain tomorrow, apparently. So we get a lot of information here. Emma's here as well. She's saying hopefully he could make them make mistakes to open them up, I imagine. And Matty's in the house as well. He's saying big up to all. Stuart saying he hasn't. Oh wow! Stuart said I did have a ticket for tomorrow. Stuart's got contacts, doesn't he? He's definitely going. Mr. B saying ours is owned by thieves, so they're owned by millionaires. And ours are owned by thieves, and thieves means thieves. Just to take away their silent H because he's Jamaican. Mr. B. Anyway, that's the comments. Hi, Delboy Gunner.
Yes, big up Delboy as well. So what's the crack? What's the bleeding story, everyone? He always says that. Okay, folks, right then. So, we had a little talk about who they are, how they might play up, set up against us and play. So, let's have a look then, like we say, who's their best player. And I mean, Omundi, I've had a little look at this. I'm coming to the conclusion that this guy could well be a problem for us. Ibrahim Akambi. Right-footed left winger, I believe. Omundi, is that right?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, many are these inverted wingers they have these days. It's like a new thing, but it's not. Jimmy Greaves was, and Bobby Charlton used to play as an inverted winger or forward as well. So it's not something new that's come to light. This is something that's football goes around in circles, doesn't it? And these guys now playing with the wrong foot on the wrong side. We see that Anthony Salah, we see it Rashford, Sancho on the left. And this guy, he's got great attributes, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to have to watch out for this guy. We really are, because as you're aware, like with him being inverted, he will like to come in on his right-hand side, so he will want to come in field. and link up, possibly with the striker. So that could cause us a problem. He's a big, strong, pacey player as well. So we are going to have to be very careful of him. Like I say, on the counter attack, he's the kind of player that like Omundi said, if they lump a ball over and he's on his bike, and he catches us on the flat foot, boom. You got problems. There's no two ways about that. Do you know much about this player, Omundi? Or is it just...
Yeah, he's Nigerian. He's 23. He's Nigerian. Obviously, a lot of these Nigerian players, a lot of talent in West Africa. We know that for sure. I'm doing a show quite shortly with a friend of mine who's Ghanaian. He actually has good connection with Ghana, always in Ghana, trying to promote Ghanaian football. And I think there's so much talent there. If they had a league, a good national league and everything, players wouldn't have to go abroad so much. And then it would make the national countries a lot better. I mean, Pele, after 1990, Cameroon done some well. Pele said by the year 2000, an African nation would win the World Cup. But he said a lot of things, but that hasn't come to fruition, has it? I mean, it hasn't come true. But I think we've seen them get close. We've seen them get to quarterfinals, to semi-finals. I think it was Ghana when Suarez in 2010 robbed them. So African nations, you see the talent. There's a lot of talent there, but they're not organised. They need more structure. So a lot of players come to Europe. So this is another young guy. He's very quick. He's about 5'10", very quick, as I've seen with the goals. And I think he's a good outlet for them. If they are in doubt or under pressure, you can pump it forward, and this guy can cause problems, physically strong, wiry and strong, and he's obviously pacey. But I think against what the goals I've seen him score, I've seen errors. I think that long ball should have been cleared by the defenders. It wasn't. They had trying to run through and bounce through, and it's really amateurish, in my opinion. So it's hard to gauge how good they are. I remember, I keep referring back to the young boys game. They had a striker that we looked at who caused us problems that day. A young black guy who was playing up front, and he caused us a lot of problems with his pace, movement, and he was obviously fired up because he had an opportunity to show his skill and ability. But if these players come to England, I imagine they might struggle to get into the Football League. And I say that honestly because there's so much talent in England well, So this guy, it's hard to gauge how good he would be overall, but he's probably found his level as a star player at this club. He's playing televised games. Big showcase for him. So let's see how he gets on tomorrow. But I do think we can manage him. I haven't seen. It's not like he's someone in the Premiership. We're dealing with different issues every week. We were talking about Haaland earlier, weren't we? Yeah. That's a major threat to our defenders. And by the way, Yap Stam gave some tips the other day about how to deal with him. Get tight, be physical with him, and have someone behind you sweeping. That's what Yap Stam. But the same would apply for this guy. If he's going to be on it and he's going to cause problems, get tight to him. Don't let him turn and run. And sweep behind him just in case he's got the pace to get behind. And it's always, like his talk, it's like the unknown. There's only so much you can get on these players. I've been trying to do my research, and I'm sure Man United have done their research as well. But what are they going to tell you? Does he cut into his right foot? Does he, how fast is he? Do we really have to worry? There's a lot of question marks there with the players. So they have to learn on in the game. And I think they're so professional, they should be able to deal with him. Yeah.
Most definitely, and they are the issues that we're going to have to watch out for with this guy, and also the whole team as well. Just being, in my opinion, like you earlier said, up for it, full of energy, wanting to try and prove a point. And when you come up against the Manchester United side in Europe, they are going to be G'd up, they are going to be full of beans, they are going to be a problem. And if we are not fully concentrated for the 90 minutes, we could very easily get caught out by this team. There's no two ways about it. And we come to our team. I want to ask the question: will Ten Hag make a lot of changes?
Good question, isn't it? I mean, when we look at it now, we're coming off a loss, and he made a lot of changes in that loss against Real Sociedad. And as we know, with this group stage, it's only the winners that go through to the knockout stages. If you come second, you're likely to come up against the third place team in the Champions League. So it's really important. You could be, I've seen a group with Inter Milan, Barcelona, and Bayern Munich. Do you see what I'm saying? One of those teams will be coming third, quite possibly. Yeah. So we can't mess around. We have to take these quite seriously. And I think what he did last against Sociedad, he made some changes from a side that was doing really well. And we thought, okay, that's enough. That should be enough. And it wasn't enough. Split at home. We lost. We didn't, even though it was a dodgy penalty, we didn't do enough during the game to win the game. because maybe because of the changes, maybe because the players weren't on it. Who knows? But going into this game, this is a question I can't answer. I was going to come to you to answer this, because the balance here is: do you stick after what happened, the lesson we learned last time? Because sometimes you lose, but you learn. And I think the manager's like that as well. So we lost last week, but hopefully we'll learn. Say, all right, I've identified a certain man I can't rely on. Or he's going to say, it's the Europa League. Maybe it's not that important. I'm going to continue to bed in these guys and give them another opportunity to turn it around and prove that we're wrong. Because it's second game and you don't want to lose 2 games in a row. And so what do you feel? I don't know. What's your thoughts on that? Do you think we play a mixed bag?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think from Tenag's point of view, we've got to look at this as what's the level of threat from this team, in terms of being able to really play the ball through us, because like Bathtime pointed out, we do also have a good block as well, So again, I was going to ask the question now, in terms of approaching this game, what's Tenag going to do? Is he going to go and put a team out and say, just go out, just get the job done, go out there, bush, bang, if they drop back, try and pen them in, work the ball, work the space, etc. Or is he going to say, actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to play. We'll play a little bit deeper with the ball, like I was saying before. Try and get them out so that they can then give them a little bit of, so should we say, fake belief and confidence that they can actually do something against us, and then bam, we can sting them on the break and just hit them.
Draw them out.
Yeah, draw them out, hit them once or twice on the break, get a couple of goals, and then just shore it up and go, no, that's it. See the game out. So 2-0, see the game out. 1-0, see the game out is never comfortable. So but 2-0 is against a team that we should, to be fair, on paper, we should be beating. But in terms of the changes, we do know that after this game, there aren't any matches coming up till the 2nd of October, I believe, for us, which is obviously the Manchester derby, Manchester City. And we know that it's going to be a massive game. It always is. And yes, form and all that goes out the window. But having said that, we do need players to have had some minutes out. Our key players are players who we know are going to be starting. So I don't know. Is Ten Hag going to look at this and go, do I get the job done in the first half and then change it up in the second half? Or do I give these guys, like you said on Monday, a chance in the first half and say, right, now, you know what mistakes you made. You weren't quick enough. You weren't creative enough. There wasn't enough energy. Do that in the first half and you can get this job done in this first half against this team. And then, take a few players off, make some switches. Or like I say, is he going to just do it the other way around? Put his best 11 out.
UK James is saying here, Ten Hag should play a strong team. We've got no Premiership for the next few weeks. So usually we're playing a game on Sunday, for example. So he said, saying we should put our best team out, which is a good unit, which we've had. We know what that defense is with Dalot, Varane, Martinez, and Malacia. They've been outstanding, haven't they, for the last few games? And they didn't play against Real Sociedad. Or do you play Maguire, for example? Do you throw in Luke Shaw to give him a bit game time, get some match fitness? There's so many question marks. Midfield as well. I've seen the squad. You've got Zidane Iqbal. Unlikely to get a start, but is he someone who can come on, like you said, depending on the scoreline? If we're comfortable 2-0 up or something, maybe he can get some game time. You've got Garnacho, you've got Charlie McNeil. You've got a lot of players there that you'd like to, in an ideal world, get some experience out there, but like you said, you just have to gauge it, I imagine, and see how the game pans out. But would you start the strongest team, considering there's no Premiership games coming up? How important is it?
Yeah, for me, it's a game that we do need to win. We do need to win this game. We need to put that Sociedad result to bed. And the best way to do that is to go out there tomorrow with your strongest starting 11 and go, just get out there and get the job done. Go out, put it to bed. And then half-time, we'll make some changes. Then we can, once we're in a commanding position, we can actually then start to slow the game down and we can control the tempo. We can dictate what goes on in the match rather than them. Because if we don't do that and we do take a risk and say, okay, this team has started in the Sociedad game, I'm going to give you another chance, and it doesn't work and they get a goal, in the first half or whatever, and we're going out into a second half 1-0 down, means you've got to get 2 goals. It's always much more difficult when you're trying to chase goals. If you can go out there in the confidence that, with this setup that we've got here, this team that we're putting out, we'll get the goals, and then, like I say, we'll change it up, and then we can just settle things down and then look forward to the training sessions like we were talking about earlier, leading up to the Manchester City game, because we want to take in a little bit of good form. Like I said, we've got good form from the league, to be fair. It's just the Sociedad, which is like the big sore thumb. sticking out of Old Trafford at the moment. But again, that result didn't really mean too much to me. I wasn't too concerned, if I'm honest. So I just wasn't, because first game and all that.
Just I'm going to go through a couple of comments here about what team. So Stuart Marshall's also saying strong team tomorrow, no lead Sunday, so can't see many changes. Bill Badger saying I bet Ten Hag plays our best team, meaning as you can see there with Max Source, Ericsson, Max Source. Yeah, we love a nickname for someone who's doing well, don't we? Well done, Bill. Love that. You can see, but he's been told Rashford's not playing, so it could be Ronaldo up front. Mr. B saying, need a win, got to go strong with that team selection. I want to say hi to Chris. Chris is saying we need to put out our strongest 11 tomorrow. None of the Maguire nonsense. And Emma saying a bit of unique opportunity. I would play a strongest team and just ask them to put in as many goals as possible to make amends. So it's interesting that I just think, like in the words of Kanye West, we ain't got the answers, Sway, or we don't have the answers. We don't. I just don't know. It's a new manager, isn't it? You can't read him. It's like SHAH used to play the strongest team all the time that he was accused of, wasn't he? I don't know what Ten Hag does. Maybe we need our Dutch correspondent here to let us know what the mindset is of Ten Hag. How does he go about it?
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, if Vincent, if you are there and you're not in the comments, bro, come on. We need you right now to let us know.
Give us some insight, Vincent.
But actually, Omundi, if we think about it, we know Ten Hag has said it many times. We want to win every game, and I'm sure he would have been extremely disappointed in that Sociedad game. So I think just maybe he may want to make a point to the players that did go out in that game and perform. So, all right, look, in parts of the game we looked really good, in my opinion. There were parts of that game where we looked really good, like we were controlling the game, we were calm, everything else, but it was just the lack of energy and the lack of creativity that really cost us in the end. So you may well just go, you know what, right, okay, look, this is, in my opinion, my strongest. They're going to go out now and show you how to create high-energy football, take advantage of space, draw them out, get in behind, and pop, bang, 2-0, job's done. Then we can then go, you know what, let's make the changes now, and we can easily keep them out because, like I say, it can be, it could be a problem. But apart from him, and I can't really see any real danger players who are going to create a moment of absolute magic. Let's put it that way. You're not going to see any reference to Lord of the Rings, but not going to see any Gandalf trickery on the pitch. You know what I mean? That's for you, Bath time. You know what I mean? The staff isn't going to come out and start, you shall not score.
Don't encourage him. He's eager to type in. Just about availability, because a lot of the guys in the comments talk about availability here. We've been told Rashford's not fit. The manager said in the press conference today he's got a muscle injury or a hamstring injury or something. And he's also asked, he's really interesting as well, he's also asked about, the journalist asked him about Rashford and missing the World Cup game, the international games. And he said, would that affect him for the World Cup? And the manager said, he's good enough, clearly he's good enough, he's playing well enough. And he wouldn't be drawn into saying, oh, maybe Rashford, is not up for it or whatever. He's really endorsed his player. So obviously Rashford's out and he's had a good few games. What's he got? 3 goals or 2 assists? He's got some good stats leading up to this. So his momentum's been sort of cut out a little bit. So it's interesting to see Rashford out and maybe Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, and a few other players that have travelled, Palestri, Garnacho, Zidane, Iqbal. We've got, I think, Donny van der Beek, maybe. I don't know about you guys in the comments, but who else is not unavailable? I think they said the right back, Wan-Bissaka. That's the guy. So Lindelof played right back against Sociedad in the second half. So maybe that's where he's this backup right back if Delo is having a bit of trouble tomorrow. Yeah,
I mean, with Ronaldo, with Rashford being out there, I'll take it if he's fit. We're looking at Ronaldo taking his place.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Unless, is there anybody else that we could maybe put up there? Do you think? McNeil,
well, Box is saying here about Iqbal and McNeil. McNeil's someone who plays striker. I don't know if it'd start with McNeil, but Ronaldo. Has he scored this season, Ronaldo? Talk?
No, he hasn't. I don't think he has he? He's not, because he's not really been starting games in the league. He's been coming on, but I don't think he's scored. Not from memory, anyway. And again,
what do you think
this is what's that? Sorry.
No, just say Van der Beek. Sorry, forgive me, guys.
Oh yeah,
injured. Yeah,
Van der Beek.
So that was an opportunity for him. He's got a game tomorrow.
It's just that the Van der Beek thing is an absolute mystery to me. It really is. Quickly, we'll just touch on that quickly. I mean, for me, you look at what he did under Ten Hag in that Ajax team. I know he had Frankie de Jong with him as well, and crikey, I can't remember the other guy's name in the midfield in that team. And he was great. Donny van de Beek was absolutely brilliant for Ajax, and I don't know why Erik ten Hag is so reluctant, even like every other manager, to give him more than one chance. You know what I mean? There's something clearly that is very specific about his game that he feels will not fit in with everybody else in that midfield. For us, that's all it can be. I don't think this is an attitude thing or a fitness thing. I think he's more than fit. Obviously, if he's injured. But I think in a fitness sense, I think he's always been fit. I think his attitude must be right. Otherwise, he wouldn't have got all the games that he got under Erik ten Hag, and his attitude surely wouldn't have changed so drastically coming to United, especially now he knows he is under his old boss. You would think if there was an attitude shift, it would have quickly shifted back, to go, right, oh, here's my old boss. I can, he knows me. I know him. I can work with him. I can play. But there's quite clearly something amiss with that. And maybe one day we'll find out exactly what that element is.
I can't answer that, but Chris is saying I don't think Donny has the mentality to play in the Premier League. He says he's not tough enough. It's big. It's a tough one. I don't know. I really don't know. I think Donny van de Beek's a really good player. Off the ball as well, he's great. He puts the effort in, but maybe he's not tough enough. Maybe he's not quick enough. Maybe he's not savvy enough. Who knows? But I do think he's a good player. This is the thing. And people say, "Oh, the Premier League. Can you adapt to the Premier League?" I used to think that was a myth, but I do think the Premier League's really raising its standards. So maybe some players are struggling, and he went on loan and still got injured and struggled as well. So I was hoping he would have games like this, Europa League, where he'd get himself fit just in time, knowing that he's like to get a starting place and then start to work his way back into the side and get some more trust in him, because his stock is going down really low. He's not the player. He's not, as I say, he's not the man I used to be. As in Fine Young Cannibals, I'm not the man I used to be. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with him up until January, whether he does get more game time. Because like you say, he hasn't played hardly any minutes so far.
No, and like I say, it's a total mystery to me because he has got some fantastic qualities as a footballer. I remember, I think we once spoke about him like going back last year, and I think we made the analogy that maybe his metronome ticks a little bit faster than everybody else's. And they need to get up to his game.
Yeah,
and maybe
we did say that. That's true.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
that's a good point. We did
so,
say it.
And if that is the case, then if you look at our midfield as it stands, obviously I know we've had the additions of Casemiro and Eriksen, but again, maybe it may just be a thing about making this. It might take a little bit of time once Erik ten Hag is comfortable and sees that they're totally gelling and working in that midfield. Then that might be the right time to start adding in Donny van de Beek. So he may actually play a part in this season. I don't think we can rule him out altogether as being a player to add to our season and to our midfield, especially on the back of not getting Frankie de Jong, Frankie even, because that was obviously a big target for us. But okay, folks, let us know because we're at about 38 minutes. We're just gonna have a little look.
We miss football so much. We love talking, don't we?
Yeah.
We're sort of right through. Just having a little chin wag here. But let's move on.
We're just gonna now. We've already.
Well, big up Silver Fox.
Yeah, big up. We have talked about how do we beat them. I think we've gone through that already. So let's have a look at. This is the start of the show, by the way. We all look forward to Solo's 11. We can't forget about Solo's 11. And I was going to play a trick on him and just fill it full of threads. But just to get a reaction from the chat. But so let us feast our eyes on what we will make an admission once we have shown it, by the way. But there you go, folks. There is Solo's predicted, shall I add, starting 11. Let us know what you think of that in the comments, folks. But Omundi, I'll come to you first. What do you make of that? Is that something you think?
I would have liked to see Dubravka, but obviously Dubravka hasn't travelled. So obviously De Gea in goal. That's a no-brainer. I would look. It's decision. I have to go with Solo on this one with the back four. I think, yeah, like you said as well, have a good solid back four. Don't take these guys for mugs. Just see how the first half goes, and then maybe can make some changes. Like maybe bring Lindelof for right back if there's any issue with Dello. If he takes a knock or something like that. You got Harry Maguire on the bench as well. We haven't got left. Oh, we've got Shaw. Sorry, we've got Shaw's left back cover as well. Maybe he can get some minutes if things are comfortable. The midfield, I love Eriksen. I love McTominay at the moment, but yeah, I would go with that midfield too pairing. They need game time. It'll be interesting to see how they play together, Fred and Casemiro. I keep saying Casemiro, great Cuban boxer. And Bruno's in there. I accept that. Sancho and Anthony and Ronaldo. Yeah, I would go with that. I don't see anything wrong. Solo, you got the thumbs up from me, bro. What about you, Talk? You like that?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is with obviously Fred. I don't know. The only fear I've got with Fred is
say it.
Do you know what? It's just that we know his touch is not the best, and his passing. He can pass blind. He can be looking right at the ball when he's receiving, and then just pass it without looking at where he's actually passing it. And as I said before, with this Sheriff team, they're going to be so like the nickname is the bees. They're going to be like busy bees, buzzing all around us, waiting for opportunities. Waiting to sniff out that sweet honey of a chance. And if they sniff that honey, they're going to jump on it. And if they put enough pressure on Fred, in my opinion, I think we know he's like he can lose the ball, he can make a wayward pass, and they can pick up on that. And then bam, we're then in a little bit of trouble. So I mean, I'm not having a go at Fred. He has improved under Erik ten Hag. We know that he has made some improvements, but I think in the long term, I don't think Fred is the answer for us as a football club. To be fair, that's just being honest. I say, it is what it is. But would I change him for McTominay? I don't know. I think I'm set with the back four. It's just my question mark is Fred, but the others, Cristiano Ronaldo, Jadon Sancho, and Anthony Santos, yeah, most definitely, because like you earlier pointed out on Monday, you're going to get Sancho and Anthony playing them wide positions there and really stretching that. What's going to be, what could actually turn into a five at the back, no doubt. If we are then putting up numbers into their area, but we are going to need players to ask questions in those wide areas, and it may be as simple as one of them getting wide, receiving the ball, and if they've got the space to just put in a really sweet cross in, and Cristiano Ronaldo to do his impression of a gazelle and just leap beyond the clouds, right, and just dink, bang, goal. And I'm hoping that's how simple it's going to be. For all the bigging up we've done of Sheriff, I'm hoping it's going to be a really simple goal that we can get against them or two, and we see it out. But yeah, I think overall, apart from Fred, is my only question mark. I'm pretty happy with that Solo. So yeah, so thumbs sort of sideways on for me. So it's not either up nor down. What do they call it? The guys in the emperors in Rome. And they've just hovered.
Oh yeah, off with his head.
Yeah, so it's like I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'll go with the people's vote. Let's go with the people's vote.
When people tend to agree, they like the team. There's only one change here from UK Strange. He's got Eriksen in instead of Fred. But otherwise, people seem to like the team. Solo, you got the thumbs up from most people today. Yeah,
well, that's interesting team. And like I said, we'll have to just wait and see what Erik ten Hag puts out for us tomorrow. We'll soon find out when that team sheet comes out. Hopefully we're not all going slapping our heads, going, "Oh no, please don't do that, don't do it." Because like we've stressed, we need to win this game. Just put it to bed. Going into the Man City game on good form in the league, a win in the Europa League would be a great way to take on Manchester City, because as we know, it's going to be an absolute blinder of a game. It really is.
For sure.
So if you've got any more comments you want to read out before we go on Monday?
Yeah. Just quickly then. Obviously, I'll just go through his team. So UK Strange saying the same back four: Fernandes, Casemiro, and Eriksen. So he's gone with like players that can open things up in Eriksen and Bruno and Sancho, Anthony, and Ronaldo. I think that's really imagine Sancho, Anthony, and Ronaldo as a front three. That's beautiful, isn't it? I was just laughing at this comment by Stuart. He's saying my blind nan's got a better touch than Fred. Poor guy. But this is the feed of the fans, isn't it? Fred's really coming under it at the moment. He is a bit wayward with his passing sometimes. Box is saying we've never beaten a team in Moldova, and he can't see that changing anytime soon. Here we go again with the Fred. Andy Long saying Fred is Brazilian in the opposition half, opposing half, sorry, and close to Brazilian waxing defending. See what I mean? Oh, Sports Chris is here. How you doing, Sports Chris?
Yeah,
I saw this point earlier, so I didn't read it out. He's saying Fred isn't good. It's funny. A couple of months ago, we thought McTominay was holding him back, but it's the opposite. McTominay is the man, apparently. So Emma's saying, Andy Long, that depends on how much you like, it depends on so much like how it's said and what's it being like in the academy. Sorry, I'm struggling to read this, Emma. If they went to the academy in their home life and support they have, you really, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Emma. Forgive me.
No, I know what she's getting at.
What's she saying? Can you help me out here?
I think what she's saying is different. Because it's Fred's from. I think you're talking about Fred. If you're talking about Fred, because he's Brazilian, the home life, it's all different, and I think that's what I'm getting from it. Anyway, if I'm wrong, Emma, do put me straight.
I want to say hi to JP87TM saying City losing ? And Rangers down to 10 men. Vaughan won't be happy. And Stuart Marshall's team, I want interested to see this because I know they won't be in Fred because of that comment he said earlier. So he's De Gea, Phil Jones, Shaw, Maguire, Dalot, Casemiro, Ericsson, Bruno, Sancho, Ronaldo, Anthony. Yeah, that's. I want to say hi as well to Matthew Bassett, and Anthony as well. Big up, you guys, and everyone else in the comments. Are we winning tomorrow? Come on! By the way, can you remind everyone about the time? Because I know it's an earlier kickoff. What time would that be?
So tomorrow we'll be live. It's a 5:45 kickoff, so 5:45. We will be live. We're hoping to be live at about 5:15. But if it's not 5:15, we will be somewhere around that time. Between 5:15 and 5:30, we'll be live. So if you want to come and join us, if you're having your tea at that time, you can just sit back, listen to me and Matt. I've got Matt with me from Football United TV tomorrow as well. So you can listen to our dulcet tones, explaining what's going on in the game, and hopefully we can bring you a victory tomorrow night. We can take that into the Manchester City game.
Just to clarify, Emma was saying she's talking about the academy. She's talking about not talking about Fred, talking about the youth players at Man United. So yeah, forgive me.
Right, okay. Yeah, no worries. But hey, listen again, folks. You've not let us down. You're there again for us in the chat with your comments. 121 comments this evening. That's absolutely amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's great, and it's just fantastic to have everybody's support on the channel. Like I say, you never let us down. And so until tomorrow, big up Bill, big up, bro. Bill's one of our members, by the way, which you can do, folks, by the way. Go and check out the membership. It's really cheap, and it does support the channel, helps us improve the channel, going forward, because that's what we do want to do on this channel, keep improving, keep investing, if we can, into the channel and make changes when we can, to bring better content as well for you guys to tune into. So yeah, do please check that out, and if you can afford to do it, hit that join button because it's very much appreciated. But from me, it's a good night, and it's a good night from Omundi. And you know where to find us. You'll always find us here or on Twitter. You can actually find where's your Twitter handle, Omundi? I'm asking. Omundi Juma.
Omundi Juma 16, maybe, or Omundi Juma at the Man United agenda. I think it's Omundi Juma 16. Hit me up, guys. Social media. I only post about dogs, music, and obviously Manchester United Football Club. So you won't get any controversy out of me. I've seen Twitter's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy in there. People get cancelled. People making big statements. I keep it to dogs, football, and a little bit of music.
Actually, I do like your music. I do like your little videos of when you're walking the dogs and that, and you got a nice tune on there. It's really pleasant to watch, and it's like, I
don't like the conflict talk. There's too much conflict.
No. Yeah, you're telling me. It can listen. Twitter can be a brutal place. It really can be. So you know what? You just stay clear of the controversy, and and all that kind of
That's
stuff.
probably
Just
why I
sort of,
don't have people following me though, because I am not controversial. You know,
Well,
I'm a bit of a
well, if people like music, dogs, and Manchester United, do please go and find Omundi. And you know where to find me. I TalkMU on Twitter.
And football versus cancer as well. Big things.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah. Thank. Oh yeah. Also, I've got my own channel as well, Football versus Cancer. If anybody wants to go over there and find it and subscribe to that as well, that's just me trying to raise some money for cancer charities and whatnot. Doing bits and bats of football stuff, and I totally forgot about that one day. Yeah, well, much appreciate it. But like I say, big up to all you guys for joining us. And are we back live tomorrow night, aren't we? Oh no.
Yeah, we're back every night of the week, 8:30. Yeah, man, we're there. So you know what? Just want to say quickly, we will try to make it a short show, but we've missed football so much, we're talking so much, and we're talking to you guys as well. We really appreciate you guys coming in 8:30. You must know it's like EastEnders used to be 7:30 every night of the week when that first came out. Everyone used to watch that, and it's like a bit like that with Man United agenda. 8:30 every night of the week, when we just don't think anyone's going to turn up. Suddenly, you know, look at this. Like fishes in the ocean. There's loads of you guys out there just turning up and supporting us. So we really do appreciate you guys. Thank you. And come on, United. I've seen positive score lines in the chat. So we're gonna win. I trust you guys. Big up Rich Sports as well.
Yeah, big up Rich. Yeah, you're right. I'm confident of the victory. I'm confident of a decent performance. And then we've got all that. It's like holding your breath though, isn't it? Afterwards, it's like because we're gonna have to hold our breath until Manchester City, you know, on the back of a win. It's like, oh, I want a game. Come on, just give me a game. You know, that's gonna be like the longest, 3 weeks, is it? Nearly 4 weeks ever waiting for that game. Honestly, crikey, O'Reilly. But you know what? We know what to do, folks. Yeah, just stay united, and that's all you got to do. So from us, it's good evening. Ciao.
Thanks, guys. See you later.